Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. So I just finished a home workout and I did some legs today at home. So I've done some Bulgarian split squats against the bench I'm currently on. Try and show you what I've got available. Just a standard bench, flat bench, nice thick padding so I can put my feet on it. Elevated one at a time. Then just squat down, get my rear knee as close to the ground as possible without obviously resting at the bottom. The 2 sets of 20 there. My training at the moment is quite generic because I cannot force repetitions in a way that I can't train to failure yet. Reason being is because the spine still isn't 100%. Granted, it's not going to be for at least 6 months, I reckon, but I can train relatively intensely and still get good muscle activation, keep the signal going to my body to keep that muscle on, hopefully get some blood flow and aid recovery. So that's where I stand on the split squats. Next exercise was the sissy squat, where I did sissy squat on this machine down here. Just put the feet hooked in, lodged in here, in the bottom position where the pads are. Leant back. The further you lean your torso back, the more difficult that exercise will be. Because I can't lean too far back because my spine won't let me. So keep my spine in a relatively 90-degree position. I'm chewing gum at the moment because that helps me concentrate. Not carnivore food by any means, but the limited energy value it gives me through plant, well, sugar alcohols isn't going to be too detrimental, I don't think. Helps keep me focused as well. Oops, sorry, I'm never good at holding the camera when it's cold. It's about -2 degrees here at the moment, hence the hoodie and beanie. Tried training just a t-shirt or a vest before, and it's whether it's a bit much for my lungs. I do have asthma, so it's not the easiest thing sometimes. Next exercise was I kind of call it a glute ham raise hyperextension. It's effectively this one here. This is just our carport, by the way, overhead. This is my old lockdown training gym area, so it keeps me dry. So what I did, hit my legs under this point down here, and what I do is do a glute ham raise, so tense my glutes and hamstrings and raise my torso up. I keep my spine in a very neutral position when I do this, as to not hyperextend my lower back at the moment. My spine is still fusing. It's going to take, like I said earlier, it's going to take a long time to heal that. So it's not going to be movement I'm going to be loading anytime soon. In the past I've loaded this sort of exercise up to maybe 80 kilograms. I'm just holding a load of discs in front of me. But yeah, the main thing is to keep the blood flowing. The more I'm able to keep active, the better my recovery seems to be. They seem to be quite associated in that regard. Eventually I get to the point where I can activate my lower back, and I'll be adding this to my back sort of training. I'll be doing more of a extension exercise rather than a hip raise sort of thing. Reverse hip raise, if that makes sense, I don't know. I'll be using bands maybe, so I might keep the stimulus higher at the peak contraction point of the movement. Of course, add bars and things and weights to make it more difficult. And yeah, the next exercise I did was a bodyweight squat over here. It's just in this little area of grass here, faced into the fencing, and just did bodyweight squats. Neutral sort of stance, nothing too extreme, nothing too narrow either, just bang in the middle. Deep range of motion, as far down as my ankles would let me. I do seem to have good ankle mobility, so that's not a problem. As long as I keep my spine upright, I don't tilt forward too much. My spine isn't compromised at all. Keeps me mobile, keeps me active. That was around 30 repetitions. So for reference, most of my exercises at the moment are around about 20 to maybe 30 repetitions. 20 on the bodyweight squats will be too light, so it's going to be a high repetition exercise for me. But yeah, good tension, good blood flow, and it seemed to have helped. The next exercise I actually do off a step. I suggest a bigger step if you can do it, obviously without slipping. So just fasten the gate here. I've got George with me today to spot me in my lifts. Good boy, isn't he? Then what I was doing is calf raise off this little step here, holding onto the handle in front of me, and that just keeps me in a neutral position where I'm not straining too much or twisting my ankle at all. What I'm conscious about doing when I'm doing a calf raise on a single leg is getting good tension. It can be easy to cheat in this movement if you bend your knees a lot and swing upwards. Try to keep things very limited in terms of extraneous movement. It's just a straight up and down movement, pushing onto my big toe. Not feet. My feet aren't outwards or inwards, they're just bang in the middle, straightforward. Seems to work quite well for me. What I like to do at the moment for calves is, because I'm obviously training in a proper gym setting, is just do pretty much reps to failure. Do the other foot, reps to failure, other foot. I repeat that about 3 times, so my training tends to make it out to be somewhere around 25 repetitions the first set. Second set might be 30-40 seconds after, that'll be about 18 to 20. Third set a lot less, maybe 12 to 15 or around about that mark. So my repetitions do decrease each time, but I think my blood flow is very built up by that point. It's a lot of stimulus. It seems to keep my calves intact in terms of like their development, so I'm probably going to keep doing that, and when I can get back in the gym I'll obviously load it. But yeah, that's the garden, that's how cold it is. This is George, and he's very happy to be with me today to spot me with my workouts and keep me company. Recently had a haircut, so he's probably a bit cold, he's waiting to go in, but he's quite happy. He likes to keep guard and see what wildlife's about. We've got a forest just behind the houses here and a river that backs onto that. So yeah, we take him out for walks when we can. I've not been out with him for obviously quite a while, but it's something I look forward to doing. And yeah, it's essentially just a week 5 update. A lot of you are quite concerned about my recovery so far, so this should give you some ideas on my abilities. Yesterday I walked around the town with my family for around about 45 minutes. That was about my limit in terms of what I could do in terms of standing for the day, so that's my cut off. Yeah, other than that, recovery seems to be going well. I've got physio tomorrow, and then my 6-week x-ray on Tuesday, so I look forward to seeing the results of that so far. So be able to update you guys with probably a picture or 2 of my x-ray scan, all the bolts, the rods, scaffolding, discs. Had a spinal fusion, which includes, for me at least, a discectomy, laminectomy, and the decompression part of the surgery. So yeah, I had the works basically. I thought if I'm going to go in and get it done, I might as well get it all done. But that's enough of my rambling. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and comment. These videos won't apply to many people, but anyone that's recovering from injury particularly.